says on air. Okay, don't try that again. Hey everyone, welcome to Whip Finish Wednesday. We are live on the eve of Thanksgiving, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's been saying hello to us as you all so patiently waited on us to hop on. Tonight we've got, as always, another busy night, don't we, Katie?
Pretty busy.
And we'll go live on the Instagram. We're going to start off. We're going to tie a. I thought I'd. What's up, Dave Hall? I saw you chatting on Instagram today. Thank you for coming over on YouTube. And Mike and Barry and Bill and everyone else has been chatting. Nan from New York. We're going to start off tying this little size 20 because it's going to hit a couple materials when we're looking at tying with turkey. Then we're going to do a little giveaway. I want to say a little giveaway. We're going to give away this. And unfortunately, guys, for the photograph, I had to open it. So I did take it out of the box. I don't think, unless Katie has, we haven't actually opened the box yet because we have most of these tools in the blue color. And I can't remember the fancy color that the new Master Tying Toolkit is, but it's a really cool color. But we're giving away this Umpqua Master Tying Toolkit tonight. Everyone who posted their fly, and Josh Riston, hello. Emma and Madison are there as well tonight. Stay up late so they don't have school. Well, welcome Emma and Madison. I know we've got Emma's picture is in the drawing, I believe. So good luck to her. But we'll show some pictures in a little while and give that away. We also have. Since I don't know about your all's neck of the woods, but it's getting kind of chilly. So we've got a good toboggan here from Jay Stockard and some stickers and a bandana, some cool Whiting Farm sticker, some Semperfly stickers, some Renomed stickers, some Arex stickers, a nice little get goodie bag. And we'll do our little number drawing later on as well. But as far as the tying, what are we going to do? Last year, I was fortunate enough to get a nice turkey fan from Craig Matthews, and this is off of a turkey that he shot. And of course, like a lot of things that are given to me, I'm like, I don't really want to tie with it. I'll just keep it. And we went fishing with him this summer. He was like, "Dude, you gotta use it." So I pulled one of the feathers off of it, and I've got some other feathers. So we're going to do, what's up, Howie and Tim and Truman and Bill and Nan again and Jeff Rowley and Ken B. So we're going to use a lot of different pieces of this. Obviously, we're going to use the main feathers, but on the back here, we're going to make a parachute post out of one of these little, I'm going to pull this one off, out of this little turkey flat as well. As far as biots and wing cases and bodies themselves, we'll tie a cool little stone fly. We'll show a couple different techniques of using the biots and the fibers off of the tail feathers to make wing cases and bodies as well. So, with that said, Katie, I love your hat. It is. What do the kids say? Banging. I think that might have been a couple years ago. It's nice.
I don't know if that's the right one, but.
So Wes hikes the Smokies. What's up, Wes? So yes, Katie is making fishing great again.
We got to.
Absolutely. So let's get this. We'll knock this first fly out. Peter P loves your hat, Katie.
Thanks, guys.
Chris, we're sorry we missed you.
I pulled it back out. It's been a minute since I had it on, but I decided to pull it back out tonight because I don't think it's appropriate anymore to wear. Like a pilgrim hat or something. Like that's just. So I was like, let's just make fishing great again hat. Perfect.
All right, like Joel said, we're going to bang it out. So we'll switch
Let's
over
do
to
it.
let's switch over to the vise here, and we'll bang this one out real quick.
Alrighty then.
In the vise, we've got a size 20, just a regular old parachute. Okay, we have switched over here right now. As you can see, I used a biot body on this one, and the one we posted today, if I can find it, was this one right here. And if you can see,
Look how that one wants attention too.
I've got a turkey tail body on this one. So kind of like a pheasant tail, but turkey tail, and those turkey flats for the post. So we're going to do a size 20. I believe the one in this one right here is a size 14. We're going to do a size 20. And we're going to use the the flat for the post itself. So let's get a hook.
Are we going to show any pictures anytime soon?
We're going to do, that's what, were you paying attention on
No.
when I said the schedule? I'm going to tie fly.
I wasn't.
I'm going to tie fly.
Okay.
And then you're going to do pictures.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a giveaway.
Got it.
And then we'll tie another fly.
Okay.
And then we're going to do another giveaway.
Awesome.
Is that good?
Yep.
Cool. So so here's the hook we're going to use. We're going to use the Arex Freshwater 503 in a size 20. And we'll get that in the hook real quick. Get that in the hook. Get that in the vise real quick. So we can get going. On these 20s, I got to even put my glasses on to get it in the vise.
And to see.
Yeah, let's see. Because on the small hooks, kind of got to watch on getting right to the edge. And that's where I haven't done it in a really long time. As you can see, my jaws are in good shape. But if you don't put them in right and get them way real close to the edge, then you can damage your jaws really easily. Katie, you are rocking that hat. That is for sure.
I'm so glad that I remembered it.
I am too, honey. Okay, so the thread we're going to use is going to be the Semperfly Classic Wax thread, olive done in size 12/0. So nothing too small or nothing too fancy at all. And we'll start it just a little bit behind the hook eye. Just like this. Well, let's back it up a little bit. Let's not do it right behind the hook eye. Bring it back to right about, yay, there. About the 75% mark. So we'll start that. We'll bring it back up. So it's hanging roughly where we want the post to come up. So anchor, oh, well, it is much better on YouTube, but you're absolutely correct, Adam.
It is kind of a shock. It's like, wait, that's what they're doing up there?
What do I? What?
Like the first time you go from like Instagram to YouTube, it's like, that's what they're doing up in there?
Yeah.
It's kind of a shock.
And yes, Keisha, that is it's nothing wrong with the jaws, but when you get them right there, doesn't matter what brand it is, right there, right on the edge of them, and especially with some, you can be careful because they'll pop out, and they can you hurt yourself. But when you get right on the edge, it's just too much pressure in such a small amount of space, and you can mess up your jaws. So let's switch over the side view here. So you saw when I pulled this off the back of that fan, we've got our nice little feather here. Now, if you do shoot or you do have an entire turkey skin, I believe the breast of the skin has some really good flat feathers. But I don't have that, so I'm going to do what I've. All right, thanks for tuning in, Ken. Thank you so much, and thanks for sending us your Smitty's Flybox mini dungeons.
Ken's got to get back to work.
He does. Unfortunately, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Australia.
Well, I mean, like they wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm looking for is relatively straight edge here with as few of broken fibers as possible. And really, all I'm going to do to make this, because this is a 20, it's going to be kind of small. So I'm just going to cut just a tip of that out. So you can see now I've got like that little notch. And then we'll pull a bunch of these back because that should be able to get about 3 or 4, maybe 3 posts out of this one, depending on the size. So I'm going to pull all this back here. You can see I've got that little section there. Now this section here, when I fold it up and pull it tight, tight like this. Now you can see what I've got there. I'll switch over to the hook itself. So you can see a little bit more. There were about a dozen turn up the hill. Okay, so you can see this is a little bundle that I've got. You can see I've got a couple little broken tips there, but that'll all be okay. I'm just going to pinch them together, pull them tight. And I'm going to try to get this to where it's the right length because I don't want my post too long. So I'm looking for a post to be roughly, if not exactly, a shank length long. So I want it to go maybe a little bit over shank length. So I'm looking at from the front of the hook eye to the bend. So roughly where my bodkin is now to there. So I believe if I got my thread right in front of my thumb, that'll be okay. So I just move that forward. I'm going to cord up my thread. We are planning on being in Virginia. Absolutely, Howie. Bring this up, down. If your thread does that, just spin it the other direction. So when you see how when I'm loosening up my thread, it hops the wrong way. Let's go ahead and get my thread behaving correctly. If you want, you can do a pinch wrap. That'll help. But I'm going to try to show this. I might be spinning it the totally wrong way. If it keeps doing this, I'll just do a pinch wrap and call it a day. I'm not sure they have pretty feathers like the ones you well, you can use whatever you would like. They all have pretty feathers just as far as...
They are pretty unless you're highly allergic to them.
They're so pretty. They just make you sneeze. Draw my thread back a little bit. So I've got a few wraps there. I'm going to take this, pull up, bring it down, pull this off. I'm going to bring this, keep all those butt ends on the top of the hook shank. So you see we got a nice little, what's it called? A nice little ramp. Bring it back, and now we're just going lightly.
It's like a little broom.
A little broom handle. That's right, honey.
Fisher's flies. Didn't know that was a thing, Katie. I didn't either. But anytime I have gotten around the fan, I sneeze so hard. It's like Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live.
White turkeys today. Wow. Yes, Katie, whenever I get some of this stuff out.
I mean, like,
usually when
I
it's
feel
commercial,
like my brain is going to come out of my head.
Usually when it's commercial stuff, you're okay.
Yeah, no, it's usually like if somebody like got it and like sent it to us, it's usually that kind of like.
Yep. And all right, so now I'm going to take you saw how I just kind of stood that up just a little bit. I'm going to take my thread and just do a couple little, maybe 3 wraps around.
Yes, Jeff, super sneezing. And by the way, I think Sunday, Jeff, we are going to post
Monday morning.
We're going to post the video on YouTube with part 2 of Jeff's diver.
Yes, Katie just finished it up today.
Absolutely.
And
it's great too. It is a great video. It's less than 15 minutes, but more than 14. So check that out Monday.
And I cannot find the darn feather I was looking for. We'll just use this one instead. I've got some CDL sitting around here somewhere, and I can't find it. There it is, sitting right in front of me. So I'm just going to grab a handful of fibers from this Coq de Leon feather for the tail. Maybe a few more. So you can see my butt ends are reasonably lined up, so that means my tip should be as well. I'm going to tie it in maybe a pinch long, this, and I'm going to pull it to length, about like that. Let's see how this is looking.
See, this is so good. Right. We are so thankful that we can use every part of the turkey.
Absolutely. Okay, so
because next year there might not be turkeys, there might only be fish.
Talk of the show. It was good to talk of the show. You're absolutely right. Oh gosh. Oh, and John, Mr. Collins, you have to tell. Actually, I was just texting him earlier, but tell John Apgar that we used some of his feathers. we'll go over the different types of feathers here in a few minutes. But the thing that actually John Apgar and myself were talking about at the show, and I think we talked about last year, was the biots and what piece of the feather to use. And here is I want to do this like a blue-wing olive, but if I was going to do sulfur, I could use this color. Normally, when you look at a wild biot or wild turkey, when you're buying them like Nature Spirit or the magpie or hairline or whatever you're getting, typically the wilds are going to have like this barring on them, almost like a grizzly look. And the standards are just going to be kind of plain like this. Both of them have got their spots, their whatever. So like here's Nature Spirit stripped wild turkey barred biots. So kind of like that. But you'll notice how a lot of them don't have the trailing edge of the feather on them like this one does. And this is Nature Spirit as well. But a lot of them will just have, and here's the magpie ones, just have the leading edge of the feather because that's what everyone uses. But if I were going to use the leading edge of the feather, I'd happen to have one stripped off here. So flip over to the vise again. You see how wide this is? Like I wouldn't be able to get a whole lot of wraps and then build a bunch of bulk using this, even if I tied it in by the very tip there. Especially when I get down here, it gets really wide. So this is not really a very efficient use. But what I can do is I can take the trailing edge, which this is the turkey we're showing, or the feather we're just on showing. This is just the Nature Spirit. What's it called? Take a second. Yep, turkey biot quills. That's all this is. Blue-wing olive. And you can see how much thinner this one is, and it's can be about. It's probably a little bit longer, but it's quite a bit thinner. So we'll tie this in just like we would a normal biot. I'll tie it about there. I'll tie it, actually, yeah, I'll do this. There we go. And I'm going to cut this little piece off here. I'll get some hackle pliers and we'll wrap this thing. No big deal. Make sure I grab it the way I want it. This is kind of where you gotta hold your breath a little bit. But see, this is a size 20. If I wanted to put a little bit of super glue here before I start wrapping, I totally could. But you can see those little ribs and stuff. That would be really hard to get on a regular, with a regular turkey biot. And out of there, I will tie that off. And John Collins, I don't see who commented before John did, but John always uses a long side. So that's something that I just didn't know when I was first starting, and probably up until just a few years ago, that don't throw the other side away, because you can see how that's a very small fly. And we just put a nice little segmentation in there, a nice little body. So I'm going to grab a little, I'm going to post this post up a bit, just like this. And ask any questions when I'm doing something. If I go through it too quick, ask whatever questions you all might have. All right, I'm going to tie my feather in for the parachute itself. Thank you, Ben. I don't know which one it was, but I'll take it. So I'm going to hold this at an angle. This is just like tying any old parachute in. Now, make sure it doesn't spin on me like it just did. Now, if it spins a little bit, I'll be able to fix it. So all the way up, all the way down. Now I'm going to get a little bit of dubbing, because you got to love the dubing. like little ribs on the body like that. I do too. I think it looks kind of good. It's going to make the surface area as the fly is sitting on the water just a touch bigger, and hopefully help it not to sink. And I'm just using bluing olive kapok. So here we go. Where's the bluing olive? You might have to trust me.
You keep going by.
Okay.
It was right there.
Oh, thank you. So just a nice little thin noodle so I can put the dubbing right where I want it on this little baby fly. There we go. I'm going to try to build this front up a little bit because I've got a little bit of a step here. Just like that, and have my thread end. Push a little dubbing up there. My thread ends right like that. See how that is looking? Straighten that back up. I love how detailed down there are the instructions. It's our first full live video. I've had a chance to, well, thank you, David.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Trust me, what are those yellow bowling pin-like things on your vise plate? These are those vise ponds I think you asked about. So I use these. These are balloon. I use these to hold materials down. Like there's actually a piece of tippet. I was tying some blow torches, and I got a 7x piece of tippet right here. It's holding it down, and I will use that later. And I promise you that 7x tippet and this little piece of flash would be lost if it wasn't for those. So those are the loon vise ponds.
They would be lost, and then you would be like, "Where is that little piece that are left laying right here?"
I would. I'd be lost, honey. But that's why I've got you to help me out. Okay, so I'm glad you can still see that in the vise, but we're in the camera. So I'm just going to wrap this around. And David, while I'm wrapping this, I appreciate you saying that. And if you have any questions, like asking questions, kind of like Nan just did, and Nan's only been watching us for how long, Nan? Like 5 years,
Like
7 years,
since the beginning,
for a long time,
forever.
But that it's like asking questions and like learning stuff, because we had Jeff Rowley on just the other day, and he was one time. Like I learned a lot from you guys for sure.
That was so fun when Jeff was here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to whip finish this, and I'll pull it and set it back on the vise correctly if I can find my whip finisher. And I did.
Oh, we miss you too, Jeff. You're going to love the video. Love it.
There we go. Yep. Pull it tight. Cut this off, and we got our first fly done, but with one quick little thing I want to show. Okay, so my outfit's in the vise somewhat straight, and I've straightened up the post just a little bit.
Oh, thanks, guys.
There we go. So you
I'm
can
very
see,
grateful for my time friends. They said that they like my photography and stuff.
well, I love your photography, honey. You're so a lot better than this old tying.
And then it's a macro lens that I'm using for the close-up shot for the fly. And it wasn't like we took it out of the box and it was awesome. Like it took a while to kind of figure out how to get everything
for
to
sure.
work.
And Mike was asking how late we stayed up. We actually did it the next day, but I think the 15-minute or so video took about 2.5 hours of Jeff time. So it took a long time to film, a couple hours. And the bad thing is there was a couple hours worth of time or worth of video for Katie to sort through.
But it was good. I mean, because it was really hard to know what to cut out, because it was a very, very thorough explanation of tying with deer hair, which, is like, there's so much involved. So, but I think we got all the like important stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me show you one little trick on this. And this is not the cleanest at all parachute, but we'll switch over to the parachute itself. So I've got my Sally Hansen's out here. I'm just going to put a drop right there. Okay, see how it's running in there? That was a huge drop. But we'll have it just kind of soak in just like this. And I'm going to leave it on the side while it's soaking in because that way it'll go more into the post than anything else. And now we'll be all ready to go. See how you can see it there in the post. So that's going to strengthen everything up. And we've got a nice little fishing fly. I'm sure Katie could take a pretty good picture of it, but I'm sure a picture would be great, but maybe not 100% Instagram worthy. But that thing will fish, it'll float, it'll be a great one to use.
And Joel has a
later.
question.
Joel,
Will you take a look over at his question there?
Yep. So that's what I was saying with this such a small fly. It really doesn't take a whole lot of time to tie. I wouldn't worry about anything with that. You've got this bigger one that we tied and posted. See that? That's got a red wire going through it. Now it's not counter ribbed, as in like the wires go in the same direction as the biot itself. But you can also always just put just a teeny bit of super glue underneath it, and that'll make them almost bomb-proof. Just a little bit of super glue, but the wire and what's really not, just like pheasant tail. Here's the body. You see how, let's get this in the vise. You can see it. See that? So I did use the extra small copper wire on that body there. And this is a size 14. This one's much bigger. But I used wire on that to give it a little more durable. Yes, Katie is when Katie and I got married, we started tying. And then, if you can believe it, she is a bit competitive. And I'm sure you can believe it, I'm a bit competitive. And we were tying together and having a great time. And then we started doing the old pictures and posting pictures. And she was getting good at taking pictures and tying. And we just decided that she would concentrate on the photography and I would concentrate on the tying, because the photography, both time and money-wise, is a completely different hobby. And she's just taking the photography and running with it. And I still just tie feathers on hooks and get lost.
But really, my job is like finding stuff. Basically, like pretty much finding things.
Yep. So
photography is just sort of like a side job.
So to rest your eyes, Wes, you're absolutely correct. That is, with these macro, it's hard to tell the size. So here's the size 10. It looks giant, but this is going to be what the next one we're going to tie. It's going to be a little bit bigger. But before we start tying that, Katie, I think you have got, speaking of excellent photography, you have got some pictures to show, I believe.
We have some really, really awesome pictures to share this week. We got so many pictures of the mole fly, first of all, because that was for the big drawing for the Umpqua toolkit. And then we got some other pictures too that I'm going to have to wait until next show to show, because
some non-mole fly pictures.
Non-mole fly pictures, because they're really good and I want to talk about them. So, so let's get to it. We had, I don't know, I didn't even count. Did you count how many we had?
15, 14.
So these are the mole flies.
And that's just on Instagram, so I don't know.
Yeah. And then we got tons of comments too about the show last week, which was the other thing. But we've got Big Stew Fly Fishing, and these are their Instagram handles. Butt Out on the Fly, Mole Flies, Catherine Valencias, Mole Fly version.
And a lot of you did this, and I think Freddie did it and Catherine did it, use crystal flash or some sort of other flash in the wing. And I cannot stress that enough. When we're tying a pattern, if you don't have the exact same thing, that's totally cool. Like our goal is to see what you've got, or just see you tie a fly. Like try to make do with what you got. And
electric tire right here, electric tire. Josh Riston's other daughter.
Is that Emma?
Emma.
That's Emma's there. So if Emma's still watching, good job, Emma.
I mean, his girls can tie flies. Like they're just Fisher's Flies, aka Howard the Duck, aka Howie, aka Howard.
And he has his, switch it over to me real quick. He has his Stinger his stinger scissors there in the shot.
Oh, okay. So those are the Renomed,
the new Renomed stinger
new
scissors.
Renomed stinger scissors.
They're really
Cool.
good.
I really like those. I may have to steal those.
Yeah.
Fisher's flies. We've got flame lily flies. Sent 2 pictures, and again, the flash and the wing on the top looks really good. And here's flame lily, the other version here, another variation, a great one. Freddy's flies. I love this picture. Really good picture of Freddy's flies. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like it's just sitting peacefully. Let's see. We also had Jared Blazer with a little flash in there. And then we also had Jay Wilson with a trio. Ken, who had to step out a little while ago, did a whole slew of mole flies. Lovely looking.
It's a school of them all swimming together.
Yes. Michael Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Ragsdale.
One of our Floridians.
NK Fly Girl. And some of these are a little fuzzy, but I did the best I could. And our buddy on tonight, Sergeant Bass Fisher's version.
Yes. Him and Jeff Rowley seen him try to.
And then, yeah, so that's it. So those were the entries by submitting a photo of a mole fly on Instagram for the drawing of the Umpqua Master Time Toolkit. So that's that.
All righty. And on Instagram, you're absolutely correct. We do need to have a Katie fly tying night to where, although I don't know if I'm qualified to run your little.
We've done it before.
Well,
yeah, we've usually once a year we've had like a tied something.
Yeah.
Do you not remember that?
Yes, I remember. But whoever said it on Insta Twitter said that they were just saying they'd like to. But if you're on Instagram, you can log on in YouTube and you can see us. See Katie right now. We got the different cameras.
How's everybody? Oh, he hasn't cleaned up his deer hair yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacuum cleaner. That's how. Okay, so do you want to do the drawing? So you've got all those people that you just said, and you have the comments of everyone who put Umpqua kit in their comment on the YouTube video. And if you win this and you don't need it, you can pick someone else, whether out of the comments, or you can pick someone else out of the comments to win. So you also use a tippet as a way to make. Yes, Joe, you're Joseph. You absolutely can use tippet or wire. Absolutely, I use tippet pretty often.
Michael Terry.
Michael Terry won. Cool.
Congratulations, Michael Terry. You are the winner of the Umpqua Fly Tying Kit.
So I don't know if Michael Terry's on right now, but hopefully he will see this. And how do you get in touch with us, Katie?
To get in touch with us, you simply either email us at demuthflyfishing@gmail.com, or you can message us on Instagram at demuthflyfishing.
Okay. So shoot us an email over at demuthflyfishing@gmail.com. That's just our name, then flyfishing@gmail.com, or shoot us a note on Instagram. Or if you can't figure that out, just comment on the video later on when you see this, if you're not on now, and tell us about it. Tell us can't get a hold of us. So let's get to tying another fly. Congratulations to Michael Terry. Here's another one that I did. This was actually, I had the rest of the feathers sitting out. I can't find it. Oh, just remind me to show that one later. All right, so this one we're going to do kind of like a stone fly, and we'll start off with 12-aught. I could definitely get away with bigger thread, but I like 12-aught. Okay, I'm going to get some wire. This is the
Hi Bear.
0.2 millimeter. Hi there. Hi there.
Hi Bear. Hi Bear. Hi Bear. I sent you a message. I hope you like it.
Oh, gosh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we switch over to the hook vise. 8, 9.
Wow, you
and
got right back on
10.
it.
Yep, I'm trying to. So we've got 10 wraps there, and I just want enough to hold the bead in place and then a touch more. I'm going to start my thread. This is going to be kind of a neat little trick here that I've only done a handful of times. I cannot remember if it was Charlie Craven's book that I first saw this or another book, but I saw this somewhere. And that is take your wire. Okay, same wire I was just using. And for all you professionals, give this a shot.
Do you wear those glasses when you are fishing to tie?
Yes.
Yes, man. We both have a pair for that purpose.
I'm going to
Sure.
wiggle them off a little bit.
In fact, where are mine?
Here we go.
I keep putting mine in a weird place, and that's ironic because they're supposed to be around your neck.
Yep. I started wearing mine to work, actually. So you can see kind of what we did there, right? Just put a piece of wire there on the one side. Now, we're going to do the exact same thing here. Oh, not like that.
Is this the same size hook as... No, this is a totally different hook.
It's totally different, honey.
Yeah. What is this?
This is a size 10 Arex Freshwater 531. We're going to tie this big stone flat this time.
Bill, size 10, Arex 531, freshwater.
Yep. This is, I'll pull out I don't have the fancy packaging, but it's the Arex Freshwater 531 in size 10. And this is 0.2 millimeter lead-free tying wire, or 0.02 inches, 0.5 millimeter tying wire. And this is definitely one that really just try to come up with different ways that I could best show the different pieces of turkey on. So as you can see, I'm just kind of coming down. So it gets it right there. Start to helicopter that just a little bit, just like that. Make sure it stays straight. In a second, you'll be like, okay, I see what you're doing. I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
You see what I'm talking about?
I see what you're talking about. Everybody sees it.
Oh, gosh. If Gary was on here, he'd be like, dude.
Gary was on here, he would not be happy.
I don't think so.
That's not going to be a good recipe right there.
Nope. We'll just force it in there.
It's going to be potatoes when you're supposed to get sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm. I am going to make that fit. I should have measured it.
If you just encourage it.
I'm encouraging the heck out of this thing. There we go. Okay. So you see how I've got it kind of wide there, thin there. See how we added that? So we're building taper with lead. Now we'll kind of cover everything up a bit. Make sure that's good. Go back and forth here. And this step has nothing to do with turkey at all. It's just kind of fun. There we go. And I'm going to get my little pliers out here and just see if we can squish that down a little bit.
Oh, those are those loom pliers.
Yep.
How those work? Pretty good.
Yep. That should be about right. Okay. So now we're going to tie in some turkey tails. I think that would be good.
I can't believe our puppy hasn't come in here.
I know.
And when I say puppy, I mean full-grown German Shepherd.
And we'll put a little bit of this dubbing here for a little bit of a ball. I don't want much. You don't have to put a ball on there. But the one I did earlier, this one right here, you switch it over to the hook, please.
Yes. And Mike Phillips says, was the purpose to build the taper with lead that way?
Yep. Well, and the purpose was
around?
to have it like more like a stonefly, more flat as opposed to round. So it's flat, wide body. This is just something I've been kind of playing with, seeing if it'll work. You can definitely build it with wire. We're adding a little bit more weight than building it with thread. But I'm gonna try to splay the tails out just a pinch more than those are. So.
And back a few minutes ago, Joel said my audio was dropping in and out. I hope it's okay now, but it came unplugged, so that was why took me a minute to figure out which plug went where.
Okay, well there we go. I'm glad there was actually an issue that you could take care of. That's wonderful. Okay, so we got our feather. I'm gonna take 2 of these biots off.
You're wonderful.
The top right here, the top. I'm gonna take them off.
I really like the color of that thread.
Well, thank you. This is the fluorescent red, although I feel like it looks kind of orangish, but fluorescent red. So now I've got the 2, you can barely see it, but there's 2 biots that are facing outboard from each other. So we'll switch back over to the hook. We're going to set them on about the length that we think we want them. Do a little pinch. I'm going to put 2 wraps in, 2 loose wraps. There's 1, 2. Now without letting go, I'm going to pull both of them, cant both of them towards me just a little bit. So when I pull up, oh, missed it. When I pull up and pull tight, it kind of straightens them back out. Does that make sense? So when I pinched them here, I rolled them towards me just a little bit, maybe 15 to 20 degrees. So I had my 2 loose wraps on. When I pulled tight, they went kind of opposite. Now I'm going to just kind of pinch these, go up because I want to build a little, I don't want to like cut them off at the very bottom. There we go. 1, 2. And now this is John Apcar gave us these after we saw them at the Edison show last year. And I was telling him I'm always looking for interesting colors to match our sulfur hatch here. And it's not that there's a bad color. It's just fun to have different selections of sulfur flies. So you see we're kind of building it up. That's an interesting, I don't know what that one chunk is I can see. Oh, that's the biot itself. So we got that in there. Now we're going to put our wire in because that's what I did on the one before. We'll use red 0.2 millimeter tying wire. Use whatever color you want to. You can definitely use tippet like someone was saying earlier. You can use glue. You can say, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it. And I'll do this a lot. And it's not like exactly the best move, but like if a fish eats it and it tears up, I'll tie another one on. Not a big deal. So you see I'm tying this on the bottom of the hook shank. I'm doing that on purpose. Get back down there. Okay. Make sure I'm still kind of getting my taper going the correct way.
Happy Thanksgiving, John Collins.
Oh, yep, John. And tag us in the photo of any fly between now and next Wednesday night that you use turkey in. We'll share it next Wednesday night. All right. So that looks pretty good. I'll bring our thread back to the rear. We'll tie in our biot. So I'm assuming everyone here knows how to tie in a biot, right?
Of course.
Of course.
Please.
So let's switch over to the side view. So I'm going to pull this feather off from the middle of this fiber from the middle of this biot, from the middle of the feather, because usually the fibers on the middle are longer. See how long that is versus the ones on the end here. These are good for tails, or a little stubbier. But I want to get as much length as I can because this is a longer fly and it's a little bit bigger around. So now you guys know about the rib, right? Everyone switch. Okay, so you got that. So you've got this little notch, and on this one it's very faint. There's a little bit of a notch I'm not talking about that piece. I'm talking about what goes down. So get it in my, so you can see it. So right here is that little, like, I can't see it right here, the little dip. This little dip in the biot. That's kind of what people talk about when they're talking about the notch. And when someone says notch up, notch down when you tie in, I don't want to say there's not a right way to do it, but it really just depends on how you tie in, how you're going to wrap your biot. What I mean by that is you can get whatever look you want, and it just depends on how you're tying your biot in. So hackle pliers, and this is not going to be long enough, but it's going to give me an opportunity to show you something else. Here we go. Get started like this. Pull the wire around. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So you can kind of see where it's that wild biot, how this changes colors a little bit as I'm wrapping. Looks kind of cool.
Joe wants to know if his turkey fly counts as a turkey fly.
Well, Katie's got it saved.
I do. Did I get that?
I emailed it to you. Remember?
I thought I was going to share that.
Maybe
I just haven't.
I said, do you want to share this one? It's not a mole fly. And you're like, yep, of course I do.
Yeah, but it was a turkey, so that.
That's why you weren't sure initially, because you're like, I've
Yeah,
got so many of these mole flies. You told me to email it to you anyway. So you see how the body is wide and flat, wide, flat, changes colors. That's just because of the nature of that particular natural feather, natural biot. That's why I did the lead wire underneath that way. And so now I'm going to put my wire through just like this. And I would use my rotary function, but Katie has been so kind and has got the camera so close so you all can see really good. I can't bring my bobbin cradle around the normal way. So you'll ask about the wire, running wire through it or something. There you go. There's one way to do the wire. Okay, so like I said, we're trying to hit a bunch of different techniques and or turkey materials with multiple, or just a couple flies. So I'm going to get this this whole turkey feather out. So we switch over to the Katie's over there jamming. Switch over to the side view, please. Okay, so I'm going to use this one right here. And all I'm going to do is I want to build a little bit of a transition between the abdomen and the thorax. So I'm going to pull off, that's probably 7 or 8 fibers. I don't know. Make sure my butts are lined up, slide down, and hold it by the tip like this. So now let's switch her over to the hook again. Take our tips right here, tie them in. I'll just work our thread back until we get to roughly where we want to tie in this piece here. And all this is going to be a nice little transition. Probably should have done a couple more wraps, but I think that'll be okay. So that same thing is what you can do. Use this exactly like a pheasant tail, and you can make bodies with this. It's a beautiful body. It'll Oh, Gio, man, good. I guess Howie's bouncing. See you later, Howie. Thanks for
Bye,
hopping
Howie.
on. But now I'm gonna take a bigger chunk off. So here's quite a bit more. Oh, stay together. We'll try to get this done kind of quick. We'll do a little, and we'll get this back to the front. Put a couple wraps, pull this around. Okay, so now I've got our wing case kind of somewhat made. Now, something that I probably tied it a little bit too close to the tips, but one thing when you're doing a wing case with a turkey tail, here's one that I did a long time ago. And actually, Clark Cheech is one that suggests I do this, and I've got some, I think, soft head painted on the back of this so they wouldn't come apart, and that's cool. That'll work. But as the fiber, this one's bigger so you can see. As the fiber's farther out, I'll go the wrong one. As the fibers farther out, the fibers are thinner and they will stay locked in. They will stay locked in. So it's almost like the farther out the fiber, the smaller the tippet. The closer into the stem, the fiber, it's like 0x tip. It's a lot fatter. So it's easier for the pieces to come unlocked. So when you're doing a wing case, if you find that your wing case is kind of popping apart, try tying it in by the tip or using either the middle of the feather towards the end of it. Don't use this part right here, right on the edge, because that's where it'll split really easily.
And if you don't have turkey feathers, you can always use deer hair.
Oh, got it. I didn't see what you had up there. I was like, what are you talking about?
I love it. Look at the
There is
guy.
Mr. Jackson's deer hair turkey.
Look, Bear, check it out. It's your dad's fly. I wonder if that would work. I wonder if I could catch with that.
Catch a good time.
I would catch a good time.
It's about, and you get a lot of smiles and
it's fun.
A lot of fun stuff. All right, so all I've done is tied in some. This is a rabbit's foot dubbing, and you can see it. Can you? There it is.
If you guys didn't see, Joe Sargent Bass Fisher is his Instagram handle. There is, I think was it a post from Healing Waters that had the turkey on it? You can find it on Instagram.
He just shared it with me. I don't know. Okay, so we're just kind of doing this for the fun of it. I'm going to do the same thing like we did the tail. Flip this around. It helps stick your tongue out just a little bit. It'll help you line them up a little better. And what I'm trying to do right here is get these lined up. Okay, so you can see I've got them somewhat lined up. So I'm going to stick them here on the other side of that little ball I just did. Pinch. Do a couple wraps. Figure out how I needed to adjust them. That. I think that'll be good. Make sure they're about the same length. And this is one of those times you can spend as much or as little time as you want. You can use rubber legs, use all sorts of things.
What did you use on the one earlier this week for the legs?
Like what color or what material?
I don't know. They were red and there were like 3 of them.
Yep, that was this color right here.
Yeah, that was
another
awesome.
John Apicar.
I thought it was going to crawl off the table.
I know. Now we'll dab a little bit more on here. And all I'm trying to do is cover up where I tie that in. And go back just a little bit. So you see how we're looking? Like I said, this is just down and dirty. And I'm using the same pieces that we did before. Any questions while I'm finishing this up? There we go. The same thing, just slide, pinch. 1, 2, check it. This one looks like it's a little short. Here we go. Even when you're doing them quick, just take your time. If there's something you don't like, undo it. There we go. Now trim this off. This is called moving. I'm glad I didn't grab that piece. I've got my dubbing the dark and almost put olive. And that would not have looked just right.
And while you're finishing that one up, since it's about the hour here, I think that we'll wait till next Wednesday to do our guess and number giveaway.
Okay.
Because we have some really cool stuff from a bunch of different people, but especially Jay Stalker, that kind of have a cool prize pack that we'll do next week and do a guess and number giveaway. I think I have a picture of that somewhere. Yeah, here's a few things. Just like a bunch of stickers, and there's like a toboggan and like some coasters and just some fun stuff in there. So we'll do that next week. But in the meantime, I just want to tell everybody watching how grateful I am for everybody out there watching the show.
Absolutely. It brings us a lot of joy putting this stuff together and seeing the flies that you guys tie and all the fun inspiration everyone gets and just sharing with each other and seeing you guys comment on other people's stuff and just a cool little community we've kind of made and you guys are definitely a part of. So
I wish we could do like a hidden video one week of like us, like when we're looking at their flies that they've like tied and posted and we're like, oh my gosh, look at what you did. I think that's just funny.
Yeah. All right. So this is pretty much done. Maybe just a touch more. Okay, it's like really more dubbing.
More is more.
That might be it. Yeah, we'll call that good. So now we've got this done. As you can see, we've got a couple of the biots that are a little bit together. We can separate them just enough. And then we'll grab the wing case, bring it forward, make sure it's kind of spread out a little bit. Do a loose wrap. Once again, make sure that's towards you just a pinch. See how it's looking?
It's looking pretty good. It's looking like a wing casing.
We're almost there, Patrick. All right. So now I'm going to build up a little bit of an orange hot spot all the way around. Or excuse me, fluorescent red. Thank you so much, Nan. I'm not kidding. When we were headed up to the show this past year, we're like, I wonder if we ought to finally meet Nan this time for the first time ever. But one of these years, we'll be up there and you'll send us a note and we'll say, sure, we'll drive another hour to say hello to you.
Hey, Gary Barnes, how's it going? Happy Thanksgiving.
There he is. So we got that almost done. Now let's put a little resin on here. I'm gonna cheat. And I'm going to put a big glob of Loon Thick on here because it'll be quick. And I don't have to worry about doing 3 coats. I did thin on one. I had to do a handful of coats. So I'm going to go down there where it touches and load up here. See how that's looking.
Hey, Peter P. So, yeah, I do know how to tie. And I think John was saying this earlier. Every now and then I'll go over on the Vice and we'll do a show and I'll tie something. I think it's been a while though, so I probably should do something. But now I do the pictures and the editing of our videos and of the live show, and then John does the tying. So it's kind of nice to each have a role.
Yep, for sure. And hello, Randy. You're not feeling. Oh gosh, Gary, I'm sorry. You've heard. We've been talking about you. So goodness. All right, so I'm gonna put one quick, just to fill in any of the gaps. I'll put a little flow on there, just to fill in any slight imperfections, and hopefully not make a bigger imperfection.
I'm trying to find you. There you are.
There we go. And that's done. So, man was on antibiotics, not allowed out.
Oh.
Okay, so like I said, the goal tonight was to show some different techniques using deer and deer. Now you got me saying deer, honey. Using turkey, and so we did let's switch over to the main camera. Poor Favre. So we did the parachute post. So we used turkey flats for the parachute post. We wrapped a little bit body with the tail, not so much, but a little bit. We used both sides of the biot, so the trailing edge and the leading edge, to wrap a body. Trailing edge is good for those teeny tiny flies as well as bigger flies. But thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. We use these as legs, use these as tails, wing case. The only thing I didn't do, I was thinking about doing it, but we're out of time, is do the one like we posted today, that parachute where it had the turkey tail body. But really, it's just treat it just like a pheasant tail. You could do a Frenchie and use this without a problem. Just remember, like once you tied a handful of Frenchies, you were tying a size 16 or 18. You don't want to grab 10 pheasant tail fibers for a size 18. Just in the same way with the turkey tail. You don't want to tie, like get you 4, 5 at most fibers. And I can tie a size 14 without a problem with 4 fibers. So don't get them too thick. Anyway, so I'm trying to catch up on everyone else's conversations on here. I think everyone's good. So Josh, thanks a lot. I appreciate your kiddos joining in tonight. So Emma and Madison, hopefully you're still with us. It's good to see you. And Mike, Nan, Joel, Gary, you're the man, banging them out tonight. This was a fun little fly. This one might be the better one of all of the 3 that I've tied now this week.
Yeah, except for your whole little wire incident there.
What's my wire incident? That dude, it turned out good, dog. It turned out okay. Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get.
No, really though, the one that you tied earlier this week, when I was taking a photograph of it, I thought it was going to crawl off the table. That's how good it looked.
Well, hun, oh, you know how to get me going, don't you, Sugar Plum? Sugar Plum, you're just special. Jennifer, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Mr. Adams, we look forward to seeing you as well. James, we'll see you at the Virginia Fly Fishing Festival. Guys, I will turn it over to Katie. It's been a fun night. Those of you on Instagram, come over and watch us on YouTube sometime. It's been a fun night seeing everyone on YouTube and chatting with you and sharing our Thanksgiving Eve with everyone. We'll be back. We're planning anyway. I'll be back live next Wednesday night. So until then, post up, tag us your pictures of your turkey flies. And until then, happy Thanksgiving. What's up, Lid Rig? Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Katie, it's all you, baby girl.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm grateful for everyone who watched the show and all the fun things that I've learned since we started tying and teaching and enjoying this hobby. So enjoy your day tomorrow, wherever you are, whatever you do, and try not to eat too much. And if you get a minute, watch the parade.
And as Freddie Fly says, salam the like button. I think he meant slam the like button.
Well, shalom and slam the like button as well. Bye, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. See ya.
Happy Thanksgiving. See you later.